So next we got a coach Courtney.
Who is she? What are y'all talking about?
Coach Cortney.
Stop. Well, listen, no, like for real, it is a pleasure being with you. And I feel like it's really cool how life has brought us all together.
Yep.
Because I could identify with parts of your story. I could identify with parts of your story. And it's just so freaking cool. So I'm going to hop into mine.
Yes.
The trauma, okay, so rewind. Cool. You know, my parents were married. They have this life. My mom's a post office lady. My dad is just doing his deal, working at Coca-Cola. And my mom decides, hey, you're cheating. You're like just making bad decisions. I am going to leave. You know, you're doing drugs. You're not making good decisions. You know, I'm leaving. So she decides to leave. When she decides to leave my dad, and she decides to leave her job at the post office. And she decides that, like, not only am I going to leave this career, but I'm going to leave, like, this level of life that I've been doing life. So she basically said, hey, like, I'm quitting my job. I'm giving my daughter. So I have a sister, Brandy. She's my older sister. She gave me and my sister to my dad. And she said, hey, I'm quitting my job and I'm going to like pursue this real estate stuff. Like, I just know that if I'm going to be a single parent, I need to be able to provide a really good life for my girls. And this little job that I'm working is not going to be able to be enough. And so basically she gave us to our dad, and my dad was getting off drugs. So, you know, we were in a drug transitional home, and that was a really interesting life, you know. So whatever, we're in that transitional home, and life is really different because we come from a 2-parent family home, and then whatever. So blah, blah, blah. Fast forward, my mom gets us back. When she gets us back, real estate is taken off. She went from like making like, I don't know, whatever they were paying at the post office, not a lot, to making $10,000, $20,000, $30,000, $40,000, $50,000, $60,000, $70,000, $80,000 in a month as a post office lady. So she gets us back. We seen her give us away for a time period and us be like, you know, struggling. I mean, that's when I learned how to steal clothes. So because my dad's mentally disabled and I lived with him in a drug transitional home, he never had enough to be able to provide for us. So we literally, like how we got all of our school clothes in like 6th and 7th grade is we learned how to boost. Yeah. Wow. So we were boosting. Whatever. So my mom gets us back, and this is like, you know, whatever, junior high years or whatever. Now she's making a ton of money, and, you know, whatever, life is good, but she's so busy. She had that fear of like, I never want to lose my girls again. So she's out there grinding, getting it all the time, to the point where she paid somebody to pick us up from school. Wow. To take us to school, to clean our house, to do everything. So she's not there because she's out there getting money. She's like, she had this fear of like, I never want to lose my kids again. I never want to not be able to take care of them. So she's out there getting money, which is a beautiful thing. She has a guy that takes and does everything for us. Meanwhile, she's missing all of like the gems and the beauty of life. You know, like me going to cheerleading and coming to games. And the days that she did have to pick us up, like, she only had to pick us up one day of the week. It would be Fridays. And I got out of school at 2:01. I went to Edison High School in Stockton, California. And the days that she had to pick us up, I kid you not, she would not pick me up. And I would be sitting on the porch of the school, like the little front 2 stairs, until like 5 o'clock. I'd be like, Mom, I would call her. She'd be like, oh my goodness, today's my day. I forgot. And I didn't realize how much that played, like, you know, an effect on me, like just not feeling like damn, Ma, you got one day. Like, you got one day. Like, you're already, granted, my life is extravagant, right? Like, we get to buy what we want, do what we want. She took us from the projects, living in a drug transitional home where like it was bad, to us living like in a little mansion in the best part of our city. But what was most important was us. Right. And she totally forgot about that. Dang. She was so busy grinding for us. And this guy was taking care of us, which is cool, which is great. Fast forward, 2005, I graduated from high school. 2007, she paid for my college, totally outright. She was paying for my college. 2007, she bought me a brand new house, a 2-story brand new custom built KB home in Pearland, Texas. And she told me, come home. I moved to Arlington, Texas. I met some guy, you know, I want you to come here and help me build my real estate company. So I'm thinking she's rebranding. She's coming to Texas. She's going to help me. I'm going to help her for the summer. I find out when, you know, she comes here that she's losing everything. The guy that I almost gave his name up. The guy that took us, took us to cheerleading, that paid all her bills, had been cleaning out her account.
Wow.
So she was thinking that, she met some guy and life was going to be good and she was expanding. And then she was like not humble enough to be able to be absolutely transparent. Or maybe she was just like oblivious. This guy had cleaned her accounts out. So much to the point where we had to liquidate everything, kind of like what you went through. And we had to liquidate everything, really, really fast. It's cool. It's very humbling when you see yourself, you're used to driving a certain car. Because I was 17. My mom sent me to the Mercedes dealership. Literally, I have pictures. And she said, pick out whatever car you want. She was in California. And literally the paperwork happened by the phone. And I drove off. With a brand new car. I have the picture. I will bring it to show you. And when you have to liquidate everything like this, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's humbling. You feel like you're losing everything because you don't even recognize how you've wrapped your identity in that. But like, so that was like already, like it hurt. But then literally, so then I got a job because once I realized like, dang, all this stuff is happening. My life is about to change. I got a job quick. Like my mom ain't got money. Like, so this little townhouse that we're living in, like we have to be able to get, like something's going to happen. We have to be able to pay for this. And I came home from working my little first job ever in life. And I had seen that she had like wrote a letter, like giving up on life. And when I came home and I seen that letter sitting on top of this box, I'm just going to call it a box. I'm not going to call it anything else. And I was just like, I have to do something to be able to take care of my mom, because what if she's never in a position to see? It's one thing when you lose your possessions, right? Because that's stuff that you can get again, but it's a totally different thing when you lose your mind.
I knew, yep.
And I seen it shifting, and I was like, oh my goodness. And immediately a hunger like drew up in me, and I was like, I got to be able to take care of my mom. And then I just started jumping out there, doing business, whatever, doing credit, doing people's hair, didn't know what I was doing.
Lord.
You hear me? It was dookie braids, and I was sewing them dookie. I did them a sewing. They had no idea.
She did this little
Photography. I had an idea in my mind, and I was like, listen, I have an idea, and I'm not gonna let anything keep me from the idea. I was doing photography and all kind of stuff. Fast forward, I went and did my taxes with this little guy, and he was like, I see something really special in you. Like, I want you to work for me. I said, bet, say no more. I worked for him. That first year, he told me, I'm gonna pay you X amount of dollars per client. What you tell me, I said, not only am I gonna get you clients, I'm about to hire somebody to have them help me get clients too. And I'm a subcontract and pay him something. Yeah. So I'm going to bus stops. When I say I'm doing everything, this was like this was like 2011, 2012. There was no social media. It was you get out there, you grind, you get it. Like there is no, there's none of that. You know what I'm saying? And so that year, like we got over 100 clients. This guy ended up not pay. He gave me one check. This was my first, and we had like a ton of clients. He gave us $10,000, and all the rest of our clients, he didn't pay us $1.
Wow.
When I say, and it was like the middle of the season, so I was just like, okay, that's cool, dude. Forget you, I'm going to somebody else's office. We end up finishing servicing clients, me and the guy that I'd hired. The next year, I literally took all the little money from the job that I had, cashed out my 401k in 2012, and opened my company, and I've never looked back.
What's the name of your company?
Tax Time and Company.
Okay.
And so, like, literally... Now, granted, has it been hard? Hell yeah. Have I partnered with the wrong people? Hell yeah. That have drug my face in the mud, that have been abusive. And God was like, even after they're abusive, like, after this guy has beat you to your face is blue, you're dang near paralyzed, I had to take steroids. God literally told me, like, I was like, okay, cool, God, he's going to jail because Texas is state of law. If you choke somebody, then, then that's restricting your state of breathing and da-da-da-da. And God's like, give him the building. I'm like, this couldn't be what you're saying. Like, this don't make no sense. Gave him it all. And every year, clientele has just managed to multiply itself. And my life has been amazing. And so I'm just really grateful to be here with you guys today because we're all like fighters. We're doers.
We all been through life.
Man, what are you saying right now? And we have something to share. Like, listen, life will knock you down, honey, but it's a matter of don't stay down. You know what I'm saying? Like, why? For what? Like, don't. Wow. So I'm finished. That's all.
And real quick thing, y'all, guys. So Coach Cortney, Text Simon Coach Cortney, actually just maybe a couple days ago, donated $10,000 to McQueen Foundation. Yes, they just donated to help us with our mission to fight hunger around the world.
Yes. And let me say this really quick.
Go ahead, girl.
So my mom had a nonprofit because I've just been living through her vicariously. It was called Sisters Making It Happen, and she would empower people, homeless, all that. And then once she fell down into her whatever, because she's been down for a while, so I've had to carry that whole torch. And then I shifted over to Smith. Well, I shared True Life, and it was basically empowering and helping homeless people. And life represented loving, informing, feeding, and encouraging. Because more than homeless people need food, they need love, they need encouragement, they need tools, right? And so we were doing that, but then this opportunity to be able to do business and opening my own company came up, and so I got busy with making money, and so I've been super busy. So I would tithe and give back because that's a part of life, but I haven't been able to go back and do life with the people like I used to. And during COVID, God introduced me to McQueen, and what she does is what my heart has always been, and even her even her logo being boxing gloves, and I was just like, dang, God's like, like, He's looping it all together. Your dream didn't die. It's just living through another person. And so it's a privilege for me to be able to give something, because what are we going to spend money on? On some apparel, on some food.
I told her to buy a Louis bag the other day. I'm sorry.
I'm getting some bundles, though.
I told her to buy a Louis bag the other day.
I looked online and I was like, yo, I want to get one, but it's like $2,000. How many people can I feed?
I know.
Literally, it was like, no lie. I went on OfferUp. I was like, well, maybe I could just buy a bag. Like, I could buy a used Louis bag or a used Gucci bag, because I can't do it.
Yes.
Like, after we did a photo shoot today, and after the team, like, we literally left the photo shoot. I was like, y'all, listen, I have some stuff to do, but this is a commitment. We go out and we feed the homeless on Saturday. McQueen went and got her makeup done today. So I was like, listen, McQueen. So she sent us the resources. We did some stuff today. And literally, so we were out there with our like makeup done like this today.
I love it. Y'all took pictures?
Like, I didn't take any pictures out there feeding the homeless. So we were out there like looking like some gods feeding the homeless.
They were like, need that kind of love.
I was so sad, y'all. When I knew that was going out to feed the homeless dressed up, I was like, man, they gonna love y'all. Y'all got this makeup on.
They probably can't do that to any regular person, but y'all helping them so they can be like, you look good today.
Right.
Get a feedback from it. So I know they love that.
Yeah, it was dope. It was dope. But just think about it. When you go to a restaurant, or when you go, think about when you have a butler, right? Because we're all going to have one. What does a butler wear? He wears his best, his collar.
That's nice.
It's like, so as we begin, I'm like, dang, this set the standard for me. As I go out there and serve people, go out there and serve them.
Yes.
So that was powerful today.
I like that.
Amazing story. Hey, Emmy, I thought that tamarind was for me.
You've been shaking
for everybody.
I'm sorry.
Missionary McQueen is for you. Trust me.
It's for you.
All right, so let me ask you. I want to ask both y'all some questions. So the question, not some question, the question. So Emma, if you can give someone some advice based off what you've been through, a single mother, getting freaking shot at through your home, boosting, scamming, all these things, a person that want to make a change in their life, what would you tell that person today? What advice would you give that person that want to change but don't know how to change?
Shoot. Don't settle. That's number one. Don't settle. No matter what a hater, what anybody's gonna say, make that be your boost, make that be your battery. Don't settle. Don't settle at all. Don't settle for living in your car. Don't settle for having people steal from you. Don't settle for being abusive and thinking that you can't, do nothing without that person. Just don't settle. That's like top right there. Don't settle.
Awesome.
That's powerful.
So Coach Cortney, let me ask you a question. So going through everything you went through with your mom, you had all these amazing things, and then one day it's pretty much like, hey, you have to go to your dad, or hey, pretty much you have to make that call yourself to say, like, I'm gonna save my family. So imagine having everything that you want, but you end up being the sole provider over your family, like taking on that responsibility that you never had to take on. So if a person is going through something in life have to take on an unexpected responsibility that they wasn't expecting, what would you tell them? How would you carry them on through that journey?
Sure. So the first thing I would say is, like, we could do one of two things. oh me, oh my, this is my story.
Yeah.
Like, it's so hard.
Mm-hmm.
Or you could literally do this. And this is literally what I've done. I'm not even joking. So this is a really good question. This is like off the script. Like when I would go through difficult situations, and even to this day, when I would go through a breakup, a loss in business, a family battle, whatever, when I'm at the gym and I'm trying to push myself, I literally go like this.
Yeah.
You're built for this.
Okay.
And I literally
I
talk
like
to
that one.
myself.
Yeah.
Like, listen, I could be like, oh, this is so tough. Or I literally have talked to myself and say, like, listen, you wouldn't be going through this if you weren't equipped for this.
Yes.
So
yes.
get through it, get over yourself, and hurry up and get to the solution, because other people can't find it for themselves.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So like everything, you and I have had conversations about this. And it's like when I go through, no matter how difficult the situation is, you know, even recently, me going through the little breakup, 3 years, the best man of my life. Like I'd be like, dang.
Yeah.
Like, let me hurry up and get to the lessons so I can be able to give somebody else this. Because most people want to stay down and stay defeated and stay depressed. And that doesn't have to be your life.
Yes.
Find the lessons and give the tools and literally like, and when you do that, everything else that's meant for you will come. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes we're called to be the light. And nobody ever says we want to be the light. Like, just think about it. Us in here, everybody's able to see us because of this light. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes we're called to be that for the people in our lives, and it's not fun and it's not cool and it's not easy. So I would say to anybody that's in a situation where you're like, dang, this is a lot of responsibility, know that first, you're built for this.
Right.
Like God